Okay, I believe we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, here. I'm Mobile Live. Welcome, everyone.
Yes, this is I'm actually on the road. So this is going to be an interesting YouTube live today. Appreciate y'all joining us. My name is Jason Steves. I'm clinical account specialist for Perk Integrative Health. And I'm joined by my co-host Steve Steves, who is a certified clinical nutritionist and naturopath at Nutrition and Health Center. Steve, how you doing over there in the Houston, Texas area?
Hey, things are getting good here. We have cool weather at night and had 2.5 inches of rain the other day. And so seasonal allergies are starting to hit. I know we're going to talk about that today. A lot of people are suffering from that, and they have been. And of course, the rain affects it differently too with mold. And excited to get into that topic and give people the natural remedies. That was the first thing that struck me, Jason, when I moved here in 1980. It was January, and within 10 days, my whole head was on fire. I was having runny nose, headaches, green discharge, coughing, all the symptoms of an allergic response. And it was on it was shortly after. Weather was kind of nice. It was like 80 degrees. I had rolled my windows down and I was driving towards Galveston, and I just got hit with this overwhelming reaction to the environment. And I was like, what is going on? So I went to the doctor. I didn't know what to do. I went to the doctor. That was 43 years ago. And of course, the antibiotics started, and I felt better with it, but I didn't realize what it was doing to my body and weakening my immune system and causing organ damage and tissue damage. And it was not setting up the immune system to be able to defend and deal with allergies. And I wouldn't learn that for a number of years later.
Right. And didn't you have like years prior to that too of antibiotic use and, not really taking care of your body?
Yes, it wasn't as severe though until after I moved away from home, living in Nebraska, where there's less seasonal allergies than we have in the Houston area because we have a lot more growth here. We have a lot more humidity here, a lot more fungus and molds. And so it's this collective load of environmental things that can trigger allergy. And of course, it also is toxins in the environment, driving down Interstate 45 and breathing massive amounts of automobile hydrocarbons was not helping the mucosal reactions that I was having in my sinuses and even in the digestive tract.
So folks, today we're going to be touching a little bit on, it's going to be fairly brief, but we'll be touching on how to essentially how to get rid of allergies and do it without medication. And the thing is, medications don't necessarily get rid of allergies. They actually just suppress symptoms sometimes and
just cover them up,
push it off until later. So, what we're going to talk a little bit about today will hopefully help you, inspire you to make some better choices. So I guess one of the questions I had for you, Steve, and maybe you can enlighten everybody, is there's different types of allergies, right? There's seasonal allergies, but then there's also like food allergies or, other types of allergies. When someone's coming to you, and they are asking like, what are the difference between these allergies or what do I do about them? How would you explain the difference and what people would do?
Well, it's a pretty in-depth question, but I think I can summarize it in saying environmental allergy, typically seasonal, that is affecting you, comes typically in your respiratory system. And some of it gets in the digestive system and causes an irritation. And then you have your immune reaction, triggering a histamine response. Well, this also happens with food, but you also have multiple complexes that are triggered by what happens in the digestive tract, and what gets through the digestive tract into the bloodstream and triggers these delayed sensitivities that we can test, by the way, with the ELISA food and chemical sensitivity test. Many people won't know that. So you'll know if you're breathing cedar pollen in January or ragweed in the fall or in the summer in the Houston area, you're going to start sneezing when you go outside. That's an IgE, immunoglobulin E, that reacts quickly to an environmental response. And you pretty much know those things. Most people know, and then they go buy an antibiotic, or they go buy or something over the counter, an antihistamine. Unfortunately, we want to feed our body and let it do its own natural antihistamine response. Well, with a food allergy, when you eat a food, yes, you can have that same IgE immediate response, but that only represents about 15% of the immune system. So let's look at the immune system as really our allergy responders, defending us against these foreign antigens. This can be pollen in the air, or it could be a protein, say, in dairy or in wheat or in corn or soy or eggs, for example. Those are some of the highest allergens that are known. And in fact, those are the ones we have people at least eliminate during allergy season if they're really having a tough time. And that's the key. How do I overcome allergies? I want to get into that in just a minute, but just identifying where they're coming from is a little bit of a complex. Other than when you know those immediates, you really rely on the IG or the ELISA, lymphocyte response assay. So the lymphocytes are responding in a delayed level. So you could eat, for example, some food tonight, and tomorrow morning wake up with a headache, and you wouldn't know what caused it because you had a delayed reaction triggered by the immune system. So it's also affecting histamines, yes, but it's also a part of the immune system that creates cytokines that cause inflammation. The similarity in both, whether it's airborne, seasonal, or food, is this inflammatory reaction, and many inflammatory reactions, like the firefight that would happen between the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, or any military branch trying to defend the country from an environmental invader. This is what the body's trying to do, and inflammation occurs. Bombs are going off. The immune system is trying to remove the bad guy. We just have to feed the immune system what it needs to remove the bad guy, and then also make sure we're not putting the bad guy in deliberately and directly. A lot of things to look for there. Thank God for the ELISA test to do that.
Right. Well, yeah, that's helpful. And it seems like we definitely are kind of contributing to the problem by our choices often. And so, yeah, that's helpful. I appreciate you explaining that difference and how we can kind of be aware of that, Steve. So I'm going to actually be jumping in the car here. So I'm gonna still be on video, but intermittently. Just want to let y'all know that. But we'll still be touching on these points. So
oh, you went out there for Jason for a second. Don't know if everybody can still hear me. I might just proceed to your next set of questions and see if it picks it up in the recording. So I mentioned to y'all that I've definitely had allergies. And what have I done about it? Well, this was an interesting story. There was at one point when God got a hold of me, and I had listened to a message from Dr. Joel Robbins, great man of God. He's up in the Tulsa area, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I had watched a video with some friends at their house, and he really explained natural health and natural immunity versus what people rely on when they go to synthetic immunity. So one of the problems that we run into with relying on synthetic immunity is let's see here. Hold on one second. I think Jason dropped off. All right. I want to make sure that I save this appropriately. I'm asking Jason as he's traveling. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Let's answer these questions. And if it doesn't come out clear, we'll get to it again when we meet on Thursdays. We are going to offer a promotion code. We'll have to send that on a separate little snippet so y'all can take advantage of that. I think I'm going to get that promo code from Jason. So I can share it with you. If you stick with me here and we talk about immune building so that you don't have to suffer with allergies and definitely don't have to beat down your immune system with antibiotics or other medications. Yeah, he's given me a promo code and I will give that to you at the end. So hang on. So what are the allergies? What did I do about it? In learning what things were weakening my immune system, there is a further trigger. This is what's interesting about seasonal allergies. I don't have a seasonal allergy that bothers me anymore, like I did that first time I came to Houston when I was a terrible eater, had a weak immune system. I had been doing drugs, and I just reacted violently to the environment within 10 days after the air got dry and the pollen started releasing. And so what do I do today at age 64, about to be 65? How do I keep the immune system intact so that I don't respond to allergies? I take massive levels of ascorbate vitamin C. Now, in a day, it's about 10,000 milligrams, which is what Dr. Linus Pauling took most of his life, living to age 94. He received a Nobel Prize on the research of ascorbate vitamin C. So it activates the white blood cells so they can clean up these foreign materials that get in the body, whether it's coming in respiratory, whether it's coming in through the gut by food. But then I learned through the ELISA testing that food was a big trigger. So I had to stay away from certain foods at certain times of the years. For me, the biggest concern was eggs during the allergy season, like in the fall with the ragweed or in the spring. So I would have to rotate that or just use it periodically in a rotation basis. And rotation diets are developed for people once we give them the ELISA LRA results so they can know, how to consume food. I still want to have eggs, still enjoy them. We have chickens and we make really healthy eggs, and that makes a difference too. The pasture raised eggs are far better than the vaccinated and chemically fed chickens that are in the market today. So food is not really what God really intended it to be. And so that's one of the biggest reasons why we do food allergy testing and environmental chemical testing as well. Some people are highly reactive to petrochemical-based solvents and so forth, food colorings, additives, preservatives. So important to identify that. I do that every year now. I do a ELISA food test and chemical test. Now, on top of that, and finding out what I need to remove, I also add in, beyond the ascorbate, is zinc as a cofactor. It's an ionosphere in activating immunity at the cellular level and working with quercetin in our repair formula called cell repair. This is a real high potency of quercetin dihydrate, the most active form for immune activation. This is giving more than 500,000 ORAC units available in one serving. That's oxygen radical absorption capacity. So what's an oxygen radical? Why did I bring that up? An oxygen radical is something that attacks and irritates our body in some form or fashion by damaging or robbing electrons from cells, and the cells get damaged, and then reaction occurs, the immune reactions that we're talking about of allergies. So it's an important component. Cell repair, that's going to be as part of the immune bundle. It's what we recommend, and we'll give you this discount on this bundle and on the immune products that I mentioned today. Also, as a part of that, probiotics, because we're constantly bringing in bacteria that is not conducive to good health. We want to make sure that we're including a probiotic to re-inoculate the valve continuously with healthy bacteria. Some of us didn't get breastfed milk from our mothers, and so we didn't get that good immunity from birth, and we need to constantly re-inoculate higher levels. Others do really well with probiotic balance in their body, but it is definitely an immune component to consider. Now let's see what else is on that list. I'm going to go quickly to my immune information in the immune blog that is just about ready to be publicized, and just briefly also explain that there's the 7 proven steps to improve the health of you and your family, and you can get those for free when you go to prospernutrition.com. It's a download. It's a great little booklet. I encourage you to share it with as many people as you can. Get people educated on these basic principles of our ancient God that he's provided for us. Food is a big part of that. Find out the offenders. Hydrating those mucous membranes so that they can release toxins out of the body. And the body produces 3 to 4 pounds of mucus every day. You need hydration to make sure that mucus is working well. And some of the nutrients I mentioned work with that as well. Exercise helps because you're going to be expelling at a higher rate with better blood flow, more toxins. It does increase immunosurveillance and immunocompetence. So how the immune system is looking around and how it's competent in removing waste material that cause allergies. And stress modification. We need to stay cool and collected if we're anxious about things. Feeling of anxiety actually suppresses the immune system. It even suppresses digestion, where most of the immune components are coming in that are triggering allergy. And we need to stay on top of that with just stress management tools. I encourage you to consider a 1-minute pause app. The doctor, is he a doctor? I think he might be. John Eldridge, a Wild at Heart author, and about 15 other books, I believe. Brilliant man. Just love that man of God. He's a certified counselor, and he's a licensed counselor, actually. Sleep is really critical as well. And some of us need sedating in that. And I encourage tryptophan support with our Sleep Guard formula, or our Sleep and Calm Essential. Sorry, that's the name of it. Sleep and Calm Essential. It will guard your sleep. And then, of course, our immune system is enhanced as we walk closer to God. They actually have studies that show immunocompromised conditions, such as allergies, are improved greatly for those that have a faith-based belief system. Increases immune activation. So in finishing our discussion on targeted nutrition, which is the last of our proven pillars of good health and living abundant health, magnesium is really important too. It's involved in multiple enzymatic pathways that increase cellular communication and utilize glucose for energy, because the body uses a lot of energy when it's dealing with allergies. So getting our magnesium power today to optimize immune health is really critical, and it's part of the immune bundle. So I just mentioned the 5 products that were a part of the immune bundle. There are a couple more that are beneficial. Let me make sure I've got that correct, because the product I'm about to tell you about is one of my favorite, only because I had been using so many products other than this product. Yeah, this is part of the bundle as well. So the immune bundle having zinc, vitamin C, cell repair, magnesium power, and now liver protect. The probiotic is not actually in the immune bundle because not everybody does need that for immune building, but everyone will benefit from all this support provided in our immune bundle. So liver protect being the last one in this list. Why did it become my most favorite product? Well, when you look at the label and see what's in it, and within the blog, you'll be able to see that, but you can go online to prospernutrition.com, go to Liver Protect under the Shop Now, and then you can see where it has a download the evidence for this supplement tab at the bottom, and you can scroll down and look at the ingredients of selenium, zinc, vitamin E, which is not just a poor quality. This is a high quality vitamin E with mixed tocopherols that improves the cell membranes, ability to protect and repair and communicate. A form of vitamin D3, which is critical and supportive for immunity as well, such as allergies. So we're also going to not just include the Liver Protect, but our D3 liquid that we make available. It's called D3 Max. So you want to bolster your vitamin D. I would really encourage that. The silymarin is also in there. It's a milk thistle extract that actually enhances liver repair for immune building, and lycopene, carnitine, which helps with fat metabolism. And all of this fat metabolism support here, even CoQ10 with the ubiquinone form that's most active, it's a micellized form that gets into the mitochondria for better cellular communication. And then last and not least, of course, is a whole blend of carotenoids, the alpha, beta, and carotenoid, as well as lutein, zeaxanthine, and cryptoxanthine. So this is the whole makeup of Liver Protect. Can't say enough about Liver Protect because I've seen transformation in people's lives, restoration of liver enzymes on blood chemistries, just a powerful liver protective and repair formula. So get started on that. If you have a liver, you should be on this. I take 6 a day myself. I believe the recommended amount on the tab on the bottle is just 2 a day if you get a 60 count bottle. And just get after that liver support. The liver is so bombarded with so many, not just environmental allergens, as we're talking about today, but environmental pollutants as well. Well, and I believe that last item, there's 2 more items for immune support here that are key elements and just all body chemistry as well. And some presence of fatty acids. We were talking about fat soluble vitamins in the Liver Protect, but the need for pure omega-3 as the purest form of fish oil you're going to find in the market. Fish oil is a big industry, and unfortunately, it's one that introduces more toxins into people than it does help people out there in the industry because of the poor quality that's out there. Fish that are being fed chemical foods and farmed in a ways that is unhealthy, and then we eat those fish oils and we get a lot of the chemical contaminants that are in that fish. Not with pure omega-3. It's the only one I'll use. So I encourage you to get on board with that, as to help the cell membranes of your immune cells, your mucosal cells in your digestive tract, mucosal cells in your lungs, in your nasal passages, all need copious amounts of pure omega-3. And that would include a basic amount of 4 a day, 2 morning, 2 evening, but a guy like me takes 2-3 times a day. And if you're in an inflammatory state, you may want to take for a short period of time more than that. You can't take too much. It'll just flush out of the body. Last nutrient on the list, everyone's heard of, but don't realize the importance of this B12 max, our B12 sublingual, that's highly beneficial at activating the production of new cells. Now, your bone marrow, down in the cell matrix, or down in the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's in your stem cells within the bone marrow, utilize vitamin B12 to make these new cells. Well, every second, the body's trying to make approximately 115,000 new white blood cells. That means the immune system's constantly battling, and then the cells are dying off as they engulf and destroy invading organisms and allergens. And then you got to keep feeding it. You got to feed it vitamin C. You got to feed it zinc. You got to give the bone marrow B12 so it activates a new production of cells. So it's an orchestra of nutrients that are pretty powerful. And they won't just protect you from allergies, but other autoimmune conditions and severe immune status like cancer risk. And we are just so excited to have such an immune bundle that will make the difference for you. We really encourage you to take advantage of the offer. Let me grab that real quick. And it is 92823. That's today's date, 92823. And then all caps, the word show, SHOW, 92823 SHOW. That'll get you 10% off in our prospernutrition.com store. And I just really encourage you to take advantage of that so that you can prosper and be in health. That's why we're here for you. That's why we're taking the time to educate you how you can get past the synthetic chemicals that are depleting your body system and give you more energy and vitality to really enjoy the outdoors this time of year as the weather's cooling off. We don't want to spend our time indoors with electromagnetic radiation just engulfing us. Let's get out there in nature and enjoy it. I pray that you prosper and be in health. Thank you so much for watching.